Task 1, I researched the conventions of trailers in general by watching trailers on YouTube and analysing them for their key conventions. I found that titles, cuts between shots, non-diegetic music to create the mood, and extreme long shots to show locations were the main key conventions. In Task 2, similarly, I researched the conventions of horror trailers by watching horror trailers on YouTube, for example Insidious and Mirrors. I found that horror trailers use a lot of extreme close-up shots to display the fear of characters, cuts between shots, and distorting effects. I made a timeline of horror films ranging from Nosferatu in 1922 to recent films such as Get Out in 2017. This was highly beneficial as I was able to view the development and progression of horror films with time. I found that editing techniques are much more precise and the use of special effects is more common. Some characters are actually computer generated. In my research project, I watched the Blair Witch Project trailer on YouTube and analysed it. I then found clips from the actual film and analysed them deeply for aspects within mise-en-scène, sound, camera and editing. I found that the Blair Witch Project adhered to the key conventions of horror trailers and films well, and this research was useful as I was able to cut and analyse scenes within the actual film so that I could see the precise editing techniques. Again, I watched horror trailers on YouTube, including Insidious and Mirrors. I then analysed whether I could apply narrative theories, for example, Prop 7 characters and Todorov's equilibrium theory. Narrative theories applied successfully to these trailers, of which suggests to me that they should also apply to mine. Using Google, I found the BBFC website, where I discovered the age rating categories and how they apply to films. I analysed aspects of each rating to see their boundaries. Again, using Google, I searched for directors and companies that distribute horror films. This research helped me to understand the organisation behind the film itself and how they are made. I gave audience feedback questionnaires to people in my college with reference to a basic storyline, including questions about characters, settings and props. They came back with quite strong answers, of which will develop my planning and post-production stages. That is how I will use it. I will use tasks 1, 2 and 3 in my planning section in my post-production to ensure that my trailer adheres to the key conventions and development of horror trailers over time. For example, making sure that titles, key signifiers and appropriate cuts such as jump cuts are used, as these are common conventions. I will use tasks 4 and 5 in my planning and post-production by ensuring that my trailer adheres to the genre conventions found in my research project, for example dark and dull mise-en-scène, and to ensure that narrative theories can be applied to it so that I know it has a storyline that can be followed clearly. I will use task 6 when I'm planning my storyboards and trailer to make sure that it fits within a certain boundary. For example, it's not too gruesome and does not display illegal behaviour without a consequence. Task 7 can be used in post-production as I'll be able to compare the editing of my trailer to films and trailers produced by these experienced and professional directors and film studios. Therefore, I will be able to use it to judge how professional my trailer looks. The audience feedback I received from Task 8 will be used in my planning section, as I will have to make the consumer's views into consideration when developing my storyboard to make sure that all of the factors that they suggested are present. Overall, I have learned a lot about the development of trailers and how they are put together professionally. Especially from tasks 1 and 2, I have learned how trailers are similar in their sequencing and have some aspects that are the same. For example, using titles and include the producer and director's names. I have also learned the importance of the research process, as without this, I would have little knowledge as to how much detail and depth goes into work of the trailer. This has taught me to recognise details and to be more precise. Therefore, this will impact my research and post-production, as I will ensure that details and specific aspects are met.